Hey guys, it's Born Free here. I'm at the King of New York tournament. I'm here with none other than Dieminion. So we know we're going to get some honest answers here. Well, first of all, how are you doing?
I'm good. Been doing good, yeah.
What games have you been playing recently?
Mostly Guilty Gear, and I've dabbled a lot with Street Fighter 5 beta, so just those two really.
So we're going to talk a bit about Street Fighter 5, but I'm definitely going to be excited to see how you fare in Guilty Gear as this year is sort of oncoming. First of all, King of New York, what does this mean to you?
Well, being the king from last year.
That's true.
Even though I won last year, like I don't feel like I'm a cut above anyone. I feel like, especially after the years when people have been playing, and recently there's been a lot of players getting better in USF4. So I just feel like it's just a title to have for the time being. It doesn't really represent, a status or anything. It's just that you're the best in the region at the time. But this particular tournament is a round robin from the best players in the region, plus 3 qualifying players from, I guess, outside the region or New York also. And people want to try to claim the New York spot. You have people from outside the region come and try to take the trophy. So it means a lot to other people. I guess it doesn't mean that much to me because I'm actually from New York. And when people from the outside look in, from like watching streams, and they're at home and on Wednesday nights they see like Battle Circuit, then they want to be here too. So it means a lot to other people. And as long as that's the case, then I'm happy for whoever wins the title.
Well, this will be the last one for Ultra Street Fighter 4, so I think it's going to be some bragging rights, which should be really interesting. Talking of Ultra Street Fighter 4, we know that it's being excluded from EVO. It could potentially be excluded from other competitions. How do you feel about that as a player and potentially as a spectator?
Well, as a player, me personally, I'll speak on my behalf first. I felt like Capcom Cup was just the last hurrah for Street Fighter 4. It's the most money involved. Competitively anyway, like on a highly competitive aspect, Capcom Cup was it. Like that's like the grand finale. Anything after that with like less money involved, and
you're just not going to have the best players playing it, basically.
Well, not to say that the best players won't be playing it, but from playing Street Fighter 5 right now, it's like you can't bring anything from Street Fighter 4 and apply it to Street Fighter 5. That's not like fundamental, So Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 5 are 2 completely different games, and Street Fighter 5 is where the money is at, and I figure that the people that wants to be highly competitive and wants a piece of the pie is gonna focus more on Street Fighter 5 and just cut Street Fighter 4 out the diet. Like you can't, as a competitive player, you can't focus on too many things. You have to grind down, because if there's someone focusing on something and you're focused on 2 things, that person is more than likely to come out with better results than you. So you have to really knuckle down, especially while the game is new. Like February 16th or 18th, I believe, is when the game releases. Not too sure, but
16th.
16th. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, 16th. Yeah.
Okay. In the beginning, early stages of the game, is mostly going to come down to who's figured out the most about the game at the time. So I would imagine people just knuckle down on Street Fighter 5 and not really, when you do that, your skill automatically declines in other games. So.
And what do you think about for spectators? Somebody who's just going to EVO, wants to see, I don't know, like, how do you feel about, in regards to Street Fighter 4? Is that something that, like, let's say you focus on Street Fighter 5 and Guilty Gear, right? Like, if Street Fighter 4 was on, would you be interested in seeing it, or you're just sick of it now?
For me, being like, I was in Capcom Cup, so
it's just not, the level's not high enough for you, right?
No, it's high. The USF4 is a high level.
I meant like now.
It's still high. It's still really, really high and really competitive. It's just that like people are gonna flock to where the money is, and Street Fighter 5 is where the money is. So if you want a piece of the money, you have to focus on the game.
All right, I just meant as a spectator. So like, let me tell you what I'm saying. Okay. All I'm saying is this: I'm going to EVO because I love it, right? But I'm going to sit through a lot of games that I'll try to understand them. I'll try to like get the most out of it. But like as a spectator, I wouldn't mind seeing some Ultra Street Fighter 4 where, it may not be like the best of the best players, but it'd be interesting to see how that plays out, and also see Street Fighter 5 played. But I guess that's what I was sort of getting at. But I think not everybody shares my point of view on that one.
I see what you're saying. So like, maybe not everyone's gonna play it, but you still want to see who will come out on top. But
I generally sit there all day waiting for Street Fighter 4 to come on. Now I'm going to be sitting there all day waiting for Street Fighter 5. Like I'm going to sit through 2 Smash games, which is fine. Like as long as I'm sitting with people who know a lot about Smash. But like, I wouldn't mind seeing an hour of Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 5 as a spectator, basically. But I also understand that what I'm looking at is probably not going to be the highest level of Street Fighter 4 because most people will either not be playing it, best players will not be playing it, or completely and utterly have spent all their time focused on Street Fighter 5. So talking of Street Fighter 5, we got your views last time on it. I don't know if those have changed much at all. I do know that you're going to give it a good go, right? And you've been grinding a little bit on the betas.
Yeah. I've been playing the beta for the past like day and a half. Well, actually, I played a little bit yesterday, Saturday, today's Sunday, for those watching. I played for about the whole day on Friday, and then Saturday morning I just played maybe like 5 games just to see, some things in training mode. While I guess it's searching for opponents. You don't really want us to search for opponents while you're in training, but it's gonna do it. So that's the beta. But yeah, I've been playing a lot of Street Fighter 5, and it's completely different than Street Fighter 4. It's not really like high burst damage into like a knockdown, into like, it's not like Street Fighter 4. Street Fighter 4 is like the Marvel of Street Fighter games, so to speak. So Street Fighter 5 is not like that. It's a completely different game.
So who are you warming to as characters right now?
Well, I like so far I like Cammy.
Cammy? Okay.
Yeah. I didn't like Rashid at first, but when I ran into some players online, it made me want to play him. So I'm more interested in Rashid, and a lot of people have been telling me to try Birdie because he's like the most similar to like, I guess the way people watch me play in Street Fighter 4. But I guess I'll give him a try. I know everyone's gonna play Birdie because he's good. Like I'm not that type of person to just play a character because they're good.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I know.
Like,
So I guess like on that point, like knowing that those are your kind of like favorites, who do you actually think is currently like top? I guess the best few characters, top tier characters.
I would say Vega, Bison, Chun-Li, Nash maybe, those 4.
Okay. And are there any characters that you look at and you go, given time, these characters are actually going to be really good?
Rashid, Laura, and give it time. Maybe Karen maybe.
I love that character. Yeah. So, is there anything like any tips you could give to people who are just entering into Street Fighter 5? It's a new game. Like, is there an approach? Are there things they already do online where you think to yourself, man, if you just didn't do that, you'd already be better? Or is there like, for instance, 5 key things that they should be focusing on? Like a lot of people talk about like the importance of crush counters, for instance.
Oh, you mean Street Fighter 5 wise or just Street Fighter wise?
Street Fighter 5. Street Fighter 5, obviously fundamentals are important, but Street Fighter 5, like, are there certain things that people should probably be thinking about? Nobody seems to use V-reversals.
I mean, I ran into a lot of players online that use reversals. I personally don't use it because I'm still in Street Fighter 4 mode, kind of. Oh, well, Guilty Gear has like a mechanic like, you push them off of you. I think it's called dead angle, I'm not sure. I think that's what it is, but V-reversal is really, you have to use it if you're in high level. You have to use V-reversal. Like, Street Fighter 5 is very obnoxious on offense. So you have to use, if you have it and like they're pressuring you and you're like in the corner, you have to use it. Like, I feel like in other games, there are mechanics that you didn't have to use to be good. Like in Street Fighter 4, to an extent, you don't have to use focus attack to be good.
Yeah.
But in Street Fighter 5, you have to use V reversal to be good. Like you have to use it.
Okay.
You know.
So what else should people be focusing on to be better at Street Fighter 5?
I would, to be honest, I would say work on the new priority system. Like heavies beats mediums, and mediums beats lights when you press them at the same time.
Yeah.
Just try to find some strategies with the priority system, and just strings and also the buffer system. When you're in block stun, and you press a button right while you're in block stun, about the few frames that you're in block stun at the last frames, if you press a button, the button still comes out.
Because of the 3-frame buffer, right?
Yeah. So if you're like mashing on like a block string or whatever, and they do a perfect string, then you get counter hit.
That's actually one of the things I mean, I've only played it a limited amount of time, but I know that mashing is really not the way to go in Street Fighter 5.
Oh, you have to mash Street Fighter 5. You have to.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, like mashing jab, but like the thing about Street Fighter 5 is that everything literally is a guess on weight. It's a guess on offense and defense, everything. So like you remember, all right. So Street Fighter 4, for instance, right? Let's say like I have Cammy and you have Ryu, and Cammy, like she can like walk up to you and do a move, and then walk up to you and do a move again. You kind of have to like block or like try to guess when to like check between. Street Fighter 5, like the pressure in that game, like you have to take a chance. You can't sit there and block all day. Like if they have a command throw, you're gonna get command thrown if you don't press the button. So
if you don't have a V reversal, what you're saying is like you should be mashing like jab?
V reversal is the guaranteed way on block to get out of pressure. If you don't have a V reversal, you have to guess between backdash and jab buttons on wake up.
Okay, interesting. I think what I've been mashing is Dragon Punch like a total scrub, and that always worked out Street Fighter 4, but like it's a weaker Dragon Punch I think this time around.
Most reversals are relatively weak in Street Fighter 5 for a reason, like, but yeah, you have to like try to jab out of pressure. But for a character like Birdie, I think he doesn't have any 3-frame normal, so he can really get counter hit. Like you can't like freely jab out. So Birdie's kind of free on wake up, kind of. Like if he has EX, he can charge that move. I don't know the properties on it, but he can charge it. But yeah, like some characters that don't have reversals, you have to either mash, jab, on block, or like backdash if you think they're gonna try to throw you. It's very fast paced on defense.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to actually get my hands on the game. I'm super psyched about it coming out on the 16th and really get an opportunity to have real time with it without worrying about it's going to cut off and this whatever. So honestly, I just wanted to say thank you for the interview. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Is there any shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, just shout out to everybody tuning in to King of New York. Shout outs, to my team YOMI. Shout out to the Street Fighter community in general, I guess. Street Fighter 5 on the way.
And shout out to all the new people who are coming into Street Fighter.
That too. Shout out to all the new players that are interested in Street Fighter. And there's a lot of money on the line. Whether or not you're not in it for the money, or whether you just want to be involved in the scene, I'm sure everyone, is grateful for all the contributions given to the scene. So.
Yeah. Tap into it. All right, guys. Peace out.